is I want to talk about what I am doing. Okay. So here's my plan. I love the idea of real estate. Like many of you, I've read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. By the way, if you are listening to this call and you have not read Rich Dad Poor Dad, shout out to Robert Kiyosaki. That was the very, very first book my father gave me back in 2017, or sorry, not 2017, when I was 17. He gave me this book and it completely changed my life. I blew my mind because I understood like nothing. I was like, I want to have money. I want to be rich. I want to flex, like all the stuff you would think of when you're 16, 17, 18 years old. But I didn't understand that in order to get wealthy, in order to get rich, you had to create passive income. You had to create freedom. You had to create, you had to make money while you did other things. And by reading this book, and I don't want to spoil the book, it's phenomenal. I read it at least once a year, if not twice a year. But by reading this book, I understood that the game is very simple. The game is you buy assets, you make money, right? You create wealth, you create an income stream, you jack that income stream up, you make as much as you can, you buy or create assets, and those assets pay you passively. And as soon as the passive income, meaning you don't have to work for that income, exceeds your bills, let's say your monthly bills are 5K, as soon as your passive income exceeds 5K, you've won the game. That's it. And then things start to stack. Things start to stack because you don't have to work for money. So if you work, it's by choice, not because you have to, but because you want to. And if you decide you're going to go travel tomorrow, cool. If you decide you're going to sleep in, cool. If you decide you want to go do this or that, or you don't want to show up for work, awesome. Because you have created passive income in excess of your bills. Read this book, blew my mind. This is when I was 17. And, I graduated high school, started going to college, went and lived in West Africa as a missionary for my church, did all of these things. And, I still had this in the back of my head, but it's much easier on paper than in person or in reality, right? And the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it uses the asset that it talks about is real estate. And we're talking about physical real estate, like actual homes, actual single family, multifamily homes that you purchase, you put under your name, and you get paid passively. You have cash flow from these assets, okay? One small problem, because the model is genius. The model makes sense. Everybody loves real estate. I love real estate. It's like if you look at all the millionaires supposedly in the world, some crazy percentage, I don't know the statistics, some crazy percentage of all the millionaires in the world all own real estate or have made their money at least to some degree through real estate. So it's a pretty good option when you start to acquire money for tax reasons and all these other things, right? However, maybe you are somebody that's listening to this right now and you're like, I was a year ago, or more like 18 months ago, where I knew that I wanted to buy real estate. I knew that I wanted to take advantage of the real estate opportunity that's about to be upon us, and maybe is even starting to show its head a little bit in some of the markets across the United States or across the world, where deals are starting to come on sale. But you don't have any cash. You don't have a nest egg of cash. You don't have 20 grand. Well, 20 grand probably wouldn't do it, but you don't have 50 grand. You don't have 100 grand. You don't have 250 grand or 750 grand or $1 million ready to go and purchase these properties. Okay. That's where I was a couple of years ago. I knew that I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to become somebody who had a lot of real estate properties. I'm talking about the physical real estate properties, but I didn't know how I was going to acquire these properties, right? Because it takes cash to buy the properties. Now, again, there's probably somebody that's going to watch this or somebody that's listening right now that's like, oh, there's creative financing and wholesaling. Forget about you guys. It's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about the average Joe that just wants to go and invest in real estate. I understand that you can get creative and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about getting the cash to invest in these properties, right? Because it does take cash, period. Whether it's your cash or somebody else's or the banks, it does take cash to buy and acquire these properties, okay? So let me pause really quick and say this. if you are not somebody that's interested in passive income, if you're not somebody that's interested in buying your time back, creating freedom where you can do what you want, when you want, how you want, with who you want, act in however you want, then hop off this call because it's not going to be for you. But if you're somebody that's interested in all or any of those things, stay with me because we're going somewhere with this. Okay. But what I want to say to you guys is this. We have an opportunity right now to go and make, I don't want to say unlimited because obviously we only have a certain amount of output that each of us can do. But we have an opportunity to take this as big as we can imagine, as big as we possibly can think, and go and create wealth, go and create cash with digital real estate, which is what I talk about. That is where I've made all my money. Okay. And take that cash and go and buy physical real estate properties that we can then be paid passively, and we can have assets that are paying us that are digital, and we can have assets that are paying us that are physical. So my plan and my strategy for a couple of years now has been, I am going to use digital real estate, AKA rank and rent, AKA building simple websites in these small markets, in tree trimming and concrete and insulation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Create these assets, have them start paying me passively, take the cash from these assets and put them into physical real estate. And I want to tell you that's listening, I don't care if you're Joseph or if you're Greg or if you're Josh or if you're whoever is on this call that I don't know or that's going to watch this call or this live, this freaking making hay with Dre, digital real estate. It is not too late to jump into the game, but I am telling you that window will be closing soon. Okay. That window is going to be closing soon because we are about to go into, and some people say we're already there, but we are going to go into, from everything that I'm hearing, everything that I am, in what my intuition tells me, and studying this stuff and talking to people that have done it, been there, done that, made that money, we're going to have an opportunity like none other to go and acquire properties on sale. Okay. Physical properties. And all of us are going to need cash to do this, all of us. And I can think of no better opportunity to go and make cash than by using a vehicle like digital real estate, where, and there's so many things I want to get into, but where your cost and barrier to entry is so small, your ROI, your profit margins are so big, I can think of nothing else. Okay. And I know there's probably somebody out there that's going to listen to this or is listening going, oh, but there's this other thing. Cool. Drop it in the comments. Let's chat about it, because I guarantee, pound for pound, it does not even come close to this opportunity.